Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the BGF podcast. I'm your host, Gianluca, alongside of,
Brandon.
and today we are going to bring you a mock draft for the 2024 NFL draft. Who we think teams are picking, and I just wanted to say before we start, thank you for the support on the recent videos. You guys have absolutely killed it. 700 plus views on both videos is insane, and thank you for that. If there's anything you want us to do, please let us know in the comments down below. Some video ideas, some I don't know, something you want us to change, whatever it may be. We're here. We answer all comments, and thanks for the interaction. We appreciate that, guys.
Looks like everyone's loving the Dynasty content so far this off season. It's been doing pretty well on the channel. So for today, we got regular NFL content. There we got the draft, but we'll keep the fantasy content coming soon enough. Anyway, here
Yeah,
we got
for sure.
the draft simulator. What we're going to be doing is we're going to do a pick each, and it's going to be what we think the teams are going to be doing. So we'll start her off here. I'm going to start draft here on PFF. And with the first, the Chicago Bears are on the clock, and I think this is really not much of a debate. It looks like this is since the last month and a half. Caleb Williams will be the first pick in the draft, and the Chicago Bears, they built a nice offense for him to come to the league in, and we'll see how it plays out. A lot of people hating on the kid, which I'm not a fan of. I feel like a lot of the stuff people think he's going to be a bust because he paints his nails and he cried after a loss. Like, I don't know. I feel like unnecessary hate, and I think he'll prove the doubters wrong. And he's coming into one of the best situations the first overall picks ever come into, so he should be able to perform. And I really like Caleb Williams for the Bears, and I hope they can finally get a quarterback that could produce, because never had a quarterback that's on 30 touchdown passes. Is kind of sad. So feel for the Bears
The
fans, and hopefully
Chicago Bears.
Hopefully Williams can be the one to do it for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, time will tell. Time will tell. This is definitely the best situation for a quarterback in recent memory, at least. Like you mentioned it earlier, pretty much hit the nail on the head. So we shall see. I hope they don't take all 15 minutes on the clock in real time, but who knows? They probably will. And
Yeah, even
the
that,
second
man.
pick,
Yeah,
sorry.
go. Yeah, no, I was gonna say even that with we already know who they're picking, and then when it's on the TV, it takes forever for the pick to be in. So yeah, we know the pick's been in
Yeah.
since they got the first pick. The pick's been in.
Yeah, literally, you gotta make that TV time worth it. You gotta get all those ads in, everything.
hmm Now is where
But
it gets
with the
interesting at number
second,
two.
yeah, no, number two is definitely. I feel like it can go a lot of places. New ownership, new group, new coaching, new everything, basically in Washington. We know they want to start fresh, and here I'm gonna give the Washington Commanders Mr. Jayden Daniels. I think that is the pick at two.
Ooh.
However, there has been reports recently that Jayden Daniels doesn't want to play in Washington, so that should be something to look out for. Definitely hope for Washington, at least if you draft the guy, he shows up. And yeah, Washington takes Jayden Daniels here. QB of the future. They need pretty much everything on offense. I think they start fresh with quarterback here and build it from there. So we'll see if it works out for them. And yeah, Commanders take Jayden at two.
Yeah, the situation's been interesting there. I feel like we've heard every name mocked to Washington in the past month. I even saw as recently as yesterday, JJ McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. The odds have now shifted to Jaden Daniels being the favorite, so I feel like I'm kind of starting to feel like that might be the case. That might happen, but yeah, it's kind of hard right now to tell. But yeah, Jaden Daniels would be a great pick for Washington. And also PFF, why is he ranked so low? Why did I have to search his name up? This guy was ranked 21.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the hell? He's not in the top 10.
That's kind of weird. I think it's probably from they probably did this a long time ago, but
Yeah,
anyway,
probably
with the
early in the season.
yeah. So now with the third pick, the New England Patriots on the clock. This is a team that wouldn't be surprised if they do trade the pick.
Yeah.
We're not going to obviously do trades in this mock draft because we're not PFF plus. But they do make a trade here, and a team like the Vikings comes up and gets a quarterback. I feel like that would be the smart move for New England, kind of because they really have nothing on offense. Whoever this quarterback is going to be is going to be put in a bad situation. So I think they should trade down the other positions. In this case, they're taking the quarterback, and it's going to be Drake May out of North Carolina. To me, he's my QB2 in this draft, and I think they're
Yeah.
getting a very good player here. New England, I just feel like it's not the best situation for him, so I love him in Minnesota. I feel like with the pieces they got there, that would be a very nice fit. But right this time, he's going to New England, and good pick for New England.
Yeah, I don't hate that pick. I think I wouldn't be surprised, sorry, if the Vikings also make a move here for 4, the Cardinals. It's just I don't see why Arizona would trade this pick considering who they have on the board right now. Like, there's a clear option here, in my opinion, that they should go with, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver out of Ohio State. I think he is the wide receiver 1 in this year's class. Malik Neighbors obviously puts up a really, really good case, but I just think Marv is a freak, and he's gonna just be phenomenal and exactly what the Cardinals need, especially since they already have Kyler Murray quarterback. Give him some weapons, help him out, and Marv is a great step in that direction.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially with the loss of Hollywood Brown, and they really just don't have much. I think who's their number one right now, like Greg Dortch. I feel like
Greg Dortch, baby.
I feel like the pick's already made for them. So I expect
Yeah.
Marv to be a Cardinal. Anyway, next up on number 5, we got the Los Angeles Chargers, and I felt this was like a no-brainer. Clearly, Jim Harbaugh doesn't feel the same.
No.
We know just with the way the team's been built this offseason, they're really building through the trenches. I thought Malik Neighbors would be the obvious pick. I think I'm throwing a curveball here early on, and I'm going Joe Alt.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
As much as it doesn't even make much sense with them losing down in Mike Williams, just the way that this team has been built, with them keeping Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa over the 2 receivers, them bringing in both Baltimore running backs and J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. I just have a sneaky feeling the Chargers are going to take Joe Alt and move Rashawn Slater to a tackle. Have a very nice offensive line, and they're going to really play like the Michigan team in along the Natty this year, and build a similar team to the Niners back when they made the Super Bowl in 2012. So yeah, that's I got the Chargers pick 5. I feel like this is the first real curve, and we'll see how it shapes up for the other teams now.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that pick. I really, really like that one, actually. Jim Harbaugh, we know how he is. Very, very tough head coach. Likes to run the ball down your throat, build up both lines, and Joel does that, man. He's a great fit. And moving on along here for the New York Giants.
But before you go though, this is not what I would do. For me, is the smash. I love Malik Neighbors. He's one of my favorite
Yeah,
players in the draft. So to me, I would take Malik Neighbors, but I think this is what the Chargers will end up doing in the end. So
yeah. Don't be
yeah,
upset, Chargers fan. Jim's got a
yeah.
plan.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, moving on here to 6. I think if the Chargers do take Joe Alt, the Giants are slam dunk taking Malik Neighbors. I don't think they're expecting him to fall. And if he does fall, well, that's the pick here. You can make a case for JJ McCarthy here with the Giants. I just don't see it considering they're paying Daniel Jones $40 million a year. I don't see them going quarterback yet. I can see them going quarterback next year because it's gonna be easier to move off that contract. But Malik Neighbors, give Jones some weapons, give that offense something because that offense is not really that good. They don't have much. So help support that offense for a quarterback of the future to eventually come in. And Malik Neighbors does that, and I think he's gonna be a giant if he doesn't go to the Chargers.
Yeah, I feel like that's a easy pick for the Giants. That would be really nice for them to finally get a good wide receivers, best wide receiver since Odell, which has been a while since then. So be a nice. And he also goes to LSU. He also LSU is a nice transition from Odell to Neighbors. Now with Tennessee on the clock, all the mocks I've done recently, I've always had them taking
Can
alt
go
because
anywhere.
I have no clue who I want the Tennessee to take here. Because what
It can
position would
go
they
anywhere.
really need? They do need DBs, but I feel like it might be at 7. It might be too early. I think I'm gonna have them taking Dallas. No, actually, they don't even need an edge rusher. Hmm. I'll have
It's
them
tough.
taking Taliesin, Fuaga.
Oh, baby. Okay.
I know they need a tackle. They obviously got Skoronski in the draft last year, so that was a good start getting a guard last year to build their offensive line. And I think we'll take another tackle here. It might be a bit early for maybe they trade down. We'll see, but if they're making the pick here, I don't mind Fuaga here. So there he is, pick 7 for the Titans.
There you go. I like that. Solidify the
Another
O line. But
5.
here at pick 8, it gets really interesting for me, right? Because you got the Atlanta Falcons on the clock, and realistically, if this draft played out the way it has so far for us, I can see the Vikings making a serious push for pick 8, especially considering that they want to pick before the Jets, because the Jets are in the rumor mill for a quarterback, so they want to get their guy. But if the Falcons were to pick here, I think they're going on the defensive side of the ball, solidifying that D line with Laitu Latu, and adding another edge rusher to that team. I think this kid's going to be really, really good. He's a freak. He's huge. He's a beast, and gets after the quarterback really, really good. The Falcons already have a decent enough offense with Kirk Cousins at the helm that they don't really need to focus too much on it. Their defense is also pretty decent, very, very underrated. So adding another piece to that defense makes them even better. And I really like this pick for the Falcons here at 8.
Yeah, I don't hate it. They do need a guy on defense. I feel like they solidified the offense this year. Obviously, we're now getting Cousins, and they're going to look to be a serious contender now. And if they could get a good edge rusher that can make an impact off rip, that'll be a nice impact for them. Next up, the Chicago Bears, who already picked Caleb Williams at 1. Now you'd expect probably offensive line or not. I don't really need anything on the defense. I think they're pretty solid on defense. Maybe a nose tackle, but I'm gonna solidify the offensive line again. They picked Darnell Rice last year, so I think I'm gonna go for another guy in the offensive line. I'm gonna take Olu Fashanu at Penn State. Bring another line, help out Caleb Williams as much as possible, and just build around your franchise quarterback. And that's why I got the Bears taking at 9 here.
That would be pretty interesting, honestly. Giving Caleb an even better O line than what they have is good. They do need pieces on that O line. That's one of their weak points in that offense. So I really like this pick for the Bears. Moving on here at 10, the Jets can go one of two directions for me. So Romo Dunze looks like the easy pick here, but I actually think the Jets do something different and they go Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia. I think
I
Brock
like
Bowers is
it.
an absolute freak. He's gonna be the guy. He's gonna be tight end 1 worthy in fantasy, and I mean we've seen the clips on him. He's huge. He's a unicorn in the tight end room. He's like the Kyle Pitts type of rookie, except I think putting him on the Jets with Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a lot better than what Kyle Pitts had, unfortunately. So I like this pick a lot for the Jets. Get a piece on offense. Don't go defense, Jets. Don't go defense because they've been prone to do that. So help out Aaron Rodgers. Give him some weapons on offense and take Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I really like that pick because I feel like it's been a few years since the Jets have actually had a solid tight end, and to get one of the best ones coming out in a while, well, since Kyle Pitts, would be a great pick for them. And I would have said Dunze if they hadn't already signed Mike Williams. Even at that, I don't know. Mike Williams is kind of we know his injury history, so you can't really rely on him. But I like Brock Bowers in that spot. Next up, Minnesota Vikings. I feel like this is a pretty
Always.
easy pick if he does fall down this much. It's going to be J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. They get the quarterback without having to move up in this scenario. Honestly, in real life, I feel like he won't drop the line. I feel like someone's going to have to trade. I feel like maybe I don't even know what Denver's gonna be. I don't think Denver's even gonna be willing to trade up because now that they got that, I say like now they got Zach Wilson, some great quarterback. I feel like that just shows that Denver's not gonna really reach on a quarterback. And
No,
if they go into the season with Zach Wilson as their starter, it's still kind of I ain't feeling great about it, but it is. I like the pick for
yeah,
Minnesota.
no,
They get the quarterback. Hopefully, they can re-sign Jefferson to a big contract. Darius, they got a lot of guys to pay, and having a quarterback on a
uh,
rookie contract would be a nice start to getting those guys paid. So Minnesota gets their guy.
I like that. I like that. I really hope the scenario plays out that we were able to keep all draft picks, but unfortunately, I do think we're trading up, and I do think it's going to be a show on Thursday. Draft day is going to be really really fun. I'm excited for it. And if this scenario were to play out in real time, I do see the Denver Broncos trading back since they lost out on JJ McCarthy, who I believe is the guy they really really want. And I see them trading back with a team who would trade up. I don't know. Maybe I was seeing Philly rumored here. That could be interesting, but I see them trading back. But in this scenario, JJ McCarthy goes off the board. Like Brandon said, they brought in Zach Wilson, so I don't see them being that quarterback desperate or right now. There's some good quarterbacks that might fall later on that they're looking at, like Bo Nix, Michael Penix. Even though I do think they're first round guys, they might fall to the second. So I think Denver takes a chance here and goes Romo Dunze, wide receiver out of Washington. Adds a weapon to that offense that's absolutely depleted. They have literally no one other than Cortland Sutton and Javonte Williams if he's healthy. So
Don't sleep
I
on
think Romo
Marvin.
Dunze is a pick here. I mean, Marvin is. We saw what he did last year. It wasn't too great, but maybe he turns it around. Second
Hey,
season, you never know.
all
Quarterback.
pro returner, though. All pro
Yeah,
Marvin.
yeah. We'll
And
see.
I
Should
like
be
the pick
interesting.
there though. After losing Judy, I feel like that'll be a nice guy to add to the receiver room. Whoever's going to be playing quarterback for him. Anyway, next up for the Las Vegas Raiders, another team that kind of needs quarterback, but at this point, like Gardner Minshew is probably going to be the guy they're going to start with. It's interesting because this is a team that they got good edge rushers, so I definitely wouldn't take an edge rusher for them. Well, they got Max, good defensive line because they signed Christian season and they have Max Crosby, so very good defensive line. I feel like they could solidify their defense, taking the first cornerback off the board, Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. He is my cornerback one in this draft, and I feel like he'll be a nice fit with the Raiders. They haven't really had great corners as of late, so I feel like that will be a great addition to that team. And pick for the Raiders, I really like that pick for them. They're 13.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Looking at the New Orleans Saints here, I mean, they also need a quarterback, but I don't see them really reaching on a quarterback right now. I
Yeah,
do see them
especially
going on the defensive side. No, for sure, and I do see them going on the defensive side of the ball. And this is tough for me. I have two people in mind. I have Dallas Turner and I have Byron Murphy. Both those guys, I think, are the next two best defensive prospects. And if I'm a New Orleans Saints, I'm gonna want to solidify that D line, so I'm gonna go with Byron Murphy. And if you guys have been watching this channel, you know how I am on both lines of the football, on other side of football. So Byron Murphy, get that big that big D tackle, nose tackle, get him in there, get some bulk in that D line, stuff the run, do your thing. Byron Murphy's the guy, and I think he's the pick here for New Orleans.
like it. Get a nose tackle. I feel like I don't know, New Orleans is in such fit cap wise that any guy that they could get here is gonna definitely help out their situation. But yeah, I feel like it just I just never understood the first time happened, and I feel like they're just stuck now, especially with him there. Anyway, next up for the Indianapolis Colts at pick 15, another team that I think needs a cornerback. Who do they go here? And I really like Dallas Turner. I feel like Dallas Turner still being on the board at 15 is kind of crazy. I feel like he's talented enough to go in the top 10. So I feel like he's like a no-brainer pick. But do the what do the Colts really need? Do they need an edge rusher? The Colts?
Not really. I think they need more secondary help than anything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I'm gonna take Terry Arnold here out of Alabama. Another cornerback going on. A nice little run of corners going here, and it's gonna help their DB. They also picked Juju Brents in the draft recently, and he's played up for them. So getting another corner in that room would be very nice for Indianapolis. And yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts taking Terry and Arnold at 15.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. The Seattle Seahawks here. I am. They need help on that O line, and they need help really, really, really bad. I'm gonna go with the first shocker. I think of the draft. Get a center out of Duke. It's the Graham Harden.
Ooh,
I think yeah, right there out of Duke. Big, big. He plays the center position, so he's gonna be like center inside guard type of thing for Seattle. We'll see where he fits in, but he looked really, really good in his pro day. I really, really was impressed with him. He made some beautiful blocks, pancaked a few people, and just a big guy, very impressive prospect, and beef up that O line because Seattle desperately needs help on that O line.
I like that pick going different. I like it. I did not expect. Didn't expect it, but I like it. You made a nice case for it. Up now, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Where do we go for them? They obviously lost Darius Williams, who they had to release. So does that bring them another team to go corner with Cooper DeJounte on the board, Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid McKinstry? So some good corners on the board. Where do they go? Their offensive line is pretty solid already. I just feel like Dallas Turner. You gotta pick this guy. He's just there.
He is there.
But
I can't lie. That would be fun. That would be fun.
yeah, Dallas Turner's continuing to fall in this mock, unfortunately, and I think the pick is gonna be Cooper DeJean. Here he is, the white DB. He's going at pick 6. He's going to Jacksonville to join up with Trevor Lawrence and them boys. They're pick 17. Sorry, Cooper DeJean, another corner off the board. The third and the last 5 picks.
That's it. I don't hate that. I like that actually pretty much. But then moving on here to the Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals. Um, we know Cincinnati's got a great offense. Joe Burrow's going to be healthy next year. I don't see them going offense here. And honest to God, if Dallas Turner does fall this far, I do see Cincinnati taking Dallas Turner. Just adding another
No
piece to that
choice.
defense, helping out that defense. That's some people consider a weak point in this team. So adding a very, very good edge rusher who had top 10 projections here at pick 18 is really, really good value. And I think he's going to do really, really good if he does land in Cincinnati.
Yeah, him and Trey Hendrickson on the edge gonna be very dangerous. And where did DJ Reader end up signing? Was it Atlanta? Was it? I can't remember. But anyway, they lost him. So
DJ Reader, I think he went. Yeah, he's a Detroit Lion.
and Detroit. That's what wasn't much. Wasn't a super expensive contract. But anyway, we'll move on to pick 19. The Los Angeles Rams, who lost a big piece of their team, one of their franchise players, and Aaron Donald, which was very unexpected in my opinion. I did not expect him to retire this offseason. But it happened, and they're going to be taking his replacement already early on, year one of post Aaron Donald. Zon Newton is going to be the pick out of Illinois to the Rams. Fits like a glove. have the production of Aaron Donald, that's for sure. But they'll hope he can turn into a nice player in their post Aaron Donald era. And the Rams are going to be delighted to get Newton here, who is kind of dropping as well.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot for the Rams. I do think they're going defense. I think they're going either edge or D tackle here. And
Yeah.
if Newton does fall, I think it's a slam dunk for them. Good pick. Looking at Pittsburgh, right? We know that this offensive line is not good, and we know that they've been needing an offensive line pretty badly. And I think here the pick is Troy Fautanu. They just take him, offensive tackle, out of Washington. Help solidify that O line that needs a lot of help. It has gotten better last season slightly, but not that much better. And I do think they need help, so they go offensive tackle here, considering it's a pretty good tackle class. And Troy Fautanu falls to the Steelers here at pick 20.
He's also another guy falling, so good pick for them. Next, the Miami Dolphins at pick 21. Another team that I don't know what do these guys even need. Because their offensive line is pretty solid. With they really need a tackle with Teron Armstead there. Their D line they lost Wilkins, so but there's not really a nose tackle here that I like. Who am I gonna take for these guys? They lost Xavier and half this offseason, so corner would be interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what we're gonna do. I'm taking Nate Wiggins here for Miami. Get a nice score. A very nice score class, I have to say. At least in the middle. But like they don't have the top end talent like a Sauce Gardner when he was coming out, but toward that's a pretty solid corners in this draft, and Nate Wiggins is another one going off Clemson to Miami.
Yeah, don't like that. And I'm going to keep that train going here. I think Philadelphia also goes corner. I mean, we saw them get
I
cooked up
need,
last season. So they go Kool-Aid right here out of Bama.
yeah,
Nice little prospect going to Philadelphia. Obviously, they need their defense did get a little depleted, not that much, but they did lose pieces, and they're gonna need to replenish it. And I think starting off with the cornerback room first, because they already do have a good D line. So Kool-Aid's the pick here for me in Philly.
yeah, I like that. That's a very big need for Philadelphia, the quarterback room. So that'll be a nice get for them. The Minnesota Vikings. What are the chances of picking Minnesota twice? Your boys. I'm picking the. I'm at the podium both times. Um,
I mean, I have
I
one
get this.
prospect I
They
would
got.
really love for them to get.
I feel like there's a lot of nice options that they would like here. They obviously just picked up McCarthy in this scenario at 11, so at this point they've won. Now it's just you're just out of anyway. The guy that I like here, Jackson Johnson, they do the center. Jared Verse is also who has fallen, who I really like. I think would be nice on the defensive line after losing a guy like Daniil Hunter and losing DJ Wanham. So that's a big need for. I think that's where I'm gonna go. First
I
year
like
edge
it.
rusher out of Florida State. That's the pick. Rusher. If these are the two picks for Minnesota, big time first round for them. So I think they might be my winners in the first round of this scenario.
Yeah, no, I can't complain. This is just
You'd
this
love
is
it.
if this happens, if this happens. Oh man.
Yeah, it was a nice move going to get that 23 pick. Honestly, it gives them nice options.
Yeah, it does. And I'm really hoping I might be a little greedy here, but if we do manage to keep 23, I'm hoping Newton falls because I really like Newton. And
Yeah,
if they're able to get quarterback plus Newton, oh man. Oh man.
yeah, it's gonna
But
be.
moving on, looking at the Dallas Cowboys, What is wrong in Dallas?
They lost
I
Tyron
don't like
Smith
their
to
O line.
free agency, so
Yeah, Dallas here. I don't like their O line. Um, I think they need help, and I also don't like their D line. I think their D line needs a little bit of help. Their cornerback room needs a bit of help too. They have a lot of ball hawks, but they don't have that shutdown alpha corner one that every team wants that just like kills everything. And I think if I'm a Dallas fan, I'd probably I mean, there's too many good tackles to not take one here. I think JC Lotham's the pick out of Alabama. If he does fall this low, I think Dallas just takes him and closes their eyes. It's a great pickup. Very, very good offensive line class. I'm very ecstatic with it. And yeah, just solidify that O line, help it out, give Dak some more time in the pocket. And yeah.
yeah, nice pick there. Next up, Green Bay at 25. Another team who they lost David Bakhtiari this offseason. They basically like lost in the last few years. He's not played much, but they're gonna go tackle here too. Amarius Sims out of Georgia, a guy that I really want for the 49ers. I'm hoping the 49ers could trade up and get this guy. There's rumors of the 49ers trading up, and just off uh, John Lynch's press conference the other day, it sounded like he was looking at trading up. So I'm hoping we can get Amarius Mims, but in this scenario, he's gonna go to Green Bay and be the replacement for David Bakhtiari. I think if we get at 25, that'll be a very nice pick for them. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah. And then looking here at Tampa at pick 26, I'm keeping the O line train going, man. I see Jackson Powers Johnson staring me in the face. If I'm Tampa, I'm taking them. I'm taking him. Get your center. You already have Tristan Wirfs, one of the best tackles in the league. Get a good center. Really help solidify that O line. Give your quarterback more time. Give Baker more time in the pocket, man. And Jackson Powers Johnson here, great center. My center two off the board here, pick 26 for Tampa.
Yeah, I feel like Jackson Powers Johnson fits a need for a lot of teams. I feel like there's not many great in the league right now, so that'll be a nice pick for Tampa. Anyway, Arizona already took Marvin Harrison Jr. at pick 4 here. Could they double up on receiver? I don't know. I don't know if that's the.
Possible.
There's a lot of good. It's a very deep receiver class. So there's a lot of good receivers in this class. So I could get that in the second, third round. So I don't think they'll double up in the first round on that. What do they do here though? I think we're gonna get back-to-back centers and take Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. A bit of a reach at this spot, but is a need for Arizona, and that's going to be the pick for them here at 27.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And then moving on to Buffalo here. I mean, they need
This
a
was like a
receiver.
no-brainer.
I whoever they have here at this point in the receiver, I'd take. And I like Brian Thomas Jr. the most here.
I
I'm gonna
like
take
it.
him. Going to Buffalo, and I think it's a no brainer in my opinion. They go receiver no matter what, and yeah, they might even trade up for one. Who knows? We shall see. Thursday should be fun. Brian Thomas Jr. is a Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, I feel like that feels just bound to happen. Up for Detroit at pick 29. What is this? Is there anybody here long? Chop Robinson is actually really low on there. Hmm. Do they solidify the defensive line even more? Yeah, they won't go receiver because they already have Amon Ra, Jamo, and all those guys.
Yeah,
They go for the receiver, but I don't think so. It's not even really Detroit's DNA. What's wrong? Their DNA is to go wild, so
yeah,
and
they
just
do.
go
They do
rogue
like to
and
go
pick the
wild.
guys. Anyway, I'm gonna get another edge rusher next to Aiden Hutchinson. And I feel like I don't know why he's so low on PFF's board. That'll be nice value. I pick 29.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Baltimore here at pick 30 is very interesting. I can see them doing a lot of things. I can see them going offensive line. I can see them going receiver. I can see them going corner. Um, who would I pick if I were a commander? If I'm not sorry, my God, if I were a Raven, I would probably. I don't know because I Mitchell looks good. Man, Troy Franklin. This is
Yeah, it's
tough. I
kind of,
would probably go.
yeah, it's good teams. It's tough.
Probably go. I don't know. I would. You know what? You got to give Lamar more time. I would probably go best tackle on the board, and I think it's Jordan Morgan's still around. Yeah, there he is. Jordan Morgan out of Arizona. Take the tackle. Help that O line a little bit. Give Lamar more time in the pocket. Maybe help him not make him run around like a headless chicken. And Jordan Morgan.
I like it. Good pick. And now I get my guys. The San Francisco 49ers. I pick 31. Unfortunately, I picked all the guys that I like for. So this might nightmare. Obviously, offensive line is definitely the most important position for the Niners. It's a very weak position besides Trent Williams. But there's something about this organization that I feel like they won't even take an offensive lineman. I feel like with them re-signing McKivitz, they might not even do it. But this is my mock draft. Well, this is our mock draft. Sorry, there's the Niners. I'm making
Your
the
mock
pick.
draft. You can fantasy book. Who do you want?
I'm taking Tyler Gute out of Oklahoma. We're taking. They have no choice here. They're taking an offensive lineman. It has to happen. I don't want to see no bullshit from these guys. You want Tyler Guten? That's the pick for the 49ers, and I really hope we trade up though because a lot of guys that I like earlier on.
Don't
Who
hate
you
that.
got for
And then
KC?
looking here, KC can honestly be pretty wild. They can do anything, man. I can see them doing a lot of things. I think personally the Chiefs need a receiver, but they just won a Super Bowl. So like I don't know. Do they really need a receiver?
Well, with the Rasheed
Rasheed
Rice
Rice is
situation,
gonna miss some time. You know what? I think if you're the Chiefs, you have to take a receiver. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they go take a corner or something. Donnie Mitchell out of Texas, last pick
yeah,
in the
like,
first round, is a Chief.
and there's our first round mock draft. Just put it up here. It's gonna pop up soon enough. And they're grading our draft.
You're gonna give us a D minus. No, we'll have to pay for it. But
No,
yeah,
it's
as
gonna
thing
pop up.
loads, I just
I've done
want to
it before.
say, sorry, Brandon.
So, where's the grade? Or I need to pay for the grade. Whatever. Anyway, we'll go over it with the first pick. Williams, Jayden Daniels goes to Washington at number 2. At number 3, we got Drake May, Harrison Jr. at 4, Joe Alt at 5, Malik Neighbors at Lazy Fuaga at 7, Leitu at 8 Falcons, um, Olu Fashanu at 9 to the Chicago Bears, at 10 to the New York Jets, Brock Bowers, 11 to the Vikings, quarterback J.J. McCarthy, number 12 to the Broncos, Roma Dunze out of Washington, number 13, Quinion Mitchell, number 14, Byron, 15 to the Colts, Terry Arnold, at 16 to the Seattle Graham Barton, then at number 17 to the Jaguars, Cooper John at 18 to Cincinnati, Dallas Turk, 19 to the Rams, Jerzon Newton, 20, Pittsburgh Steelers, Troy Fontano. 21 to Miami, Nate Wiggins. Number 22 to the Philadelphia Eagles, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Number 23 pick for the Vikings in the first round, Derek Verse out of Florida State. 24 to J.C. Latham out of Alabama. 25 to Green Bay, Amarius Mims. 26 to Tampa Bay, Jackson Powers Johnson. 27, second pick of the draft of the first round, for Arizona, Zach Frazier, center out of West Virginia. 28 to Buffalo, Brian Thomas Jr. 29, Chop Robinson to Detroit. Number 30 to Baltimore, Jordan Morgan. Eric Guthin to Oklahoma. The last pick of the first round, 80 Mitchell out of Texas goes to Kansas City. So there's their first round mock. And what were you about to say there?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, expect chaos on Thursday night. Obviously, this one was pretty clean. We didn't have any trades involved in this, but Thursday
There's
night,
definitely
expect a lot of trades, just like every other year. Enjoy the draft, guys. Enjoy the festivities.